So before it's all over with, I'm gonna make a 90s R&B video. It's just gonna happen. It's destined to happen. Just like John is destined to be the king, to sit on the Iron Throne, I am destined to make an R&B video. Hey, how y'all doing? So well, I ain't gonna say by popular demand, but some people pressured me, peer pressured me. Some would even say bullied me into doing another video for the new season. So here I am. I'm here. It's going to be a long one. So thank you for rocking with me. Let me say this. So if you're one of these people who post, oh, I ain't never seen a second of Game of Thrones. Let me tell you how dumb you sound. Okay. I can't relate to it. Calm down, David. Calm down. I said I was going to calm down. I just meditated. Now I'm messing up my whole thing. Hey, how y'all doing? Just stop posting that shit. For real. Like, it's stupid. You taking some kind of weird pride into having never seen something that everybody else is excited about. So, we're back in Winterfell. The cavalry is coming in. Khaleesi, Jon, Grey Worm, and Baby Holly. And Arya's making eye contact with everybody. First of all, when the black people get in, for some reason, Winterfell is racist. Already ain't no black people on the show. Now you want to do an extra little look to show me, oh, Winterfell is racist too. I see what you're doing, George R. R. Martin. No, this ain't you. This probably hey, somebody tell me, were there any like noticeably black people in the world? Was like, is Baby Holly or Grey Worm black? You book readers out there? Anyway, Arya's making eye contact with Lil Rob, Jon, with everybody. You know, it's just like a free-for-all. And then Khaleesi and Jon show up, and then the dragons swoop in, and everybody's shook. They run away. Sansa gave, Khaleesi the whole side eye. So Jon sees the Night King, Bran, and he hugs him. He's like, man, look, he's like, you're a man now. Bran was like, almost. I was like, ugh, he creepy as hell right now. He was a little just nice. This what life do to you. Once you start thinking about what life do, really, it turn you into Bran. So just don't let him do you like that. So Jon introduces Khaleesi to Sansa, and again, Sansa looks her up and down like, you ain't nothing. Bran interrupts. Bran is like, all right, we ain't got time for this. Ice King, the Night King got your dragons, and the dead is coming. So what are we around here hugging and shit for? And so now we're at the little council. They talking about, since Sansa's holding court. Sansa tells this little boy, the little boy gets up. He's like, yo, I got to, we need some more horses. We need a whole bunch of other shit. Sansa says, okay, go home, tell your people to come back here. And, you do that. And then the old Paul Walker's niece gets up and she says, listen, I sent you away a king, Jon. You came back I don't even know what you are. I'm like girl, you got a lot of, I understand what she's saying. But, Jon was like, yo, that's not important. She was like, not important. She was like, we named you a king, and then out of anybody, Tyrion gets up and says, listen, he made a decision for the North. Now he's got to come back. And he did this for y'all. He brought back armies and all of this. And on top of that, my sister's army is coming on the other side. It was like, man, get Joe little ass out of here. And, I don't like how they trying to play Tyrion. Like, Tyrion is one of the wisest people. He's been my favorite character from the giddy up. So I don't understand why they trying to play him. I don't know if they're trying to say, maybe he has a weak spot for his family still. Maybe that's what they're trying to relay. Because his mistakes recently has been linked to, his family, or underestimating his family. Ooh, 5 minutes. Yo, this is gonna be a long one, y'all. So then, let's see what else we got. Then Tyrion gets up, blah, 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 blah. Oh, so then Sansa was like, yo, how are we gonna feed all these new people we got? I only said we had enough, food for the next year for us. Now we got to feed dragons. What do dragons eat anyway? This is what Khaleesi did. Khaleesi was like, anything that motherfucker want to. And then she looked at her, and I thought that was funny. And so Tyrion sees Sansa talking to like an old elder, and he sees something isn't right. He steps in. They get a chance to rap, and he tells her, he's like, yo, last time I saw you was at Joffrey's wedding. That was a horrible. He's like, that was a horrible outing. She was like, it had its moments. I was like, I see you, Sansa. I see you, Sansa. Your sarcasm is not lost on me. And, so anyway, he was like, listen, I know you have every right not to trust my sister. She's a horrible person, but her army is coming and she's going to fight with us. And Sansa was like, I used to think you were the most clever person I ever met. And then she walks out again, playing Tyrion like like he's not Tyrion. Jon and Arya, they finally meet, and he was like, "Oh, you still got Needle?" She was like, "Yeah." He said, "Have you used it?" She was like, "A couple times." You lying ass, Arya. He was like, "Yeah, I could have used your help for Sansa. Sansa thinks she's smarter than everybody." And Arya was like, "Oh, she's the smartest person I know." I was like, "What? You don't even you ain't never used to." She was like, "Listen, she's trying to protect our family." And no, Jon was like, "I'm just trying to protect our family." He was like, "That's what Sansa's doing, And Jon was like, "Well, I am her family." She's like, "Remember that." Little sister trying to get all this wisdom, but apparently it's not your little sister. I don't know. So Jon and Sansa, they're arguing. He was like, "Yo, I had to go to the east. I brought back the armies. I had to, I did it, for us." She was like, "You abandoned your crown." He was like, "Nigga, I got 2 armies. You see, everybody, they worry about the wrong thing. They worry about jealousy." She was like, "Oh, you brought back a queen." He was like, "Man, we need these people to fight these White Walkers." Like, if Jon has to say this one more time, I'm gonna scream, So Sansa was like, "Did you bend the knee because you love her, or did you do it for the North?" And I'm like, "What you think, Sansa? What you think, Sansa?" Even though Jon ain't that confident in it. I say for him, but Jon ain't that confident. He was like, I don't know. He didn't say nothing, but whatever. So Khaleesi, Khaleesi walks in on Sansa, on Sam, I'm sorry. Khaleesi and old Paul Walker, they walk in on, they want to congratulate or thank Big Sam for saving him, getting the scales up off of him. The nastiest scene in the series, by the way. Hey, I just went grocery shopping, so don't judge me right now. I live above Trader Joe's. I got a lot of Trader Joe's bags. Shut up. So, they talking. She was like, it's clearly something we can do for you. He was like, "Nah, I'm cool." He was like, I did steal some books from the Foundry. I think it's called the Foundry. He said, "And I stole this thing from my dad." And he was like, "Yeah, my dad, I stole this sword from my dad, Tally." And she was like, "Tally?" Oh, he was like, "What? She was like, "Yeah, I gave them a chance to bow to me. That was, we had them, but they didn't bow, so I had to flame him." He was like, "You flame my dad? Okay, all right. You flame my father. You burn my father. You burn my father. Okay. Well, my brother, at least my brother was going." She was like, he's like, you burn my brother too?" And yeah, so then he was like, "Okay." She was like, "I'm sorry." And so he runs out. He was like, "May I?" He runs out of the room, outside, almost gets hit by a horse and buggy. And who's on the other side looking at him? But Bran's creepy ass. And he don't even get a chance to mourn. Bran is like, "You gotta tell him." Sam was like, "Man, you his brother, man, right? I ain't got you tell him." Hey, Bran was like, "But I'm not his brother." With his creepy ass, he's like, "But I'm not his brother. He trusts you more than anybody. So, yeah, go and do that." So Sam busts in, and and I'm forgetting that he hasn't seen Jon in a while either. So, so they stand there, and he was like, "You scared me." He pops up. Sam was like, "Did you know?" He was like, "No, what?" "Khaleesi gonna burn my damn brother and my daddy up." And yeah, so he was like, so Jon was shook. He was like, "Would you have done it?" And he didn't really answer. And Jon was like, "I wasn't the king." Sam was like, "You've always been a king." He was like, "Man," he said, "I had to bend the knee to do it." He said, "Man, I ain't talking about the North. I'm talking about the whole 7 kingdoms." He said, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then he tells him that basically, your dad ain't your dad. Which that was the foundation of his whole being, right? Everything that Jon told him was law, and Jon's Ned, everything that Ned told Jon, it was law to him. That's how he holds himself today. That was his legacy. He's part of Ned's legacy. That's how he operates. That's how he talks. And Ned's like, his spirit kind of flows through the whole show, really. And so Jon is sitting there like, so I've been doing, I put my finger, I tap TT. I'm sorry, I had to say it again. It was nasty. It's nasty. That's nasty. Yeah, that was nasty. So Jon is shook. Also, it was a little moment where Jon tells him, Jon says, "Well, Daenerys is our queen." Sam says, "Well, she shouldn't be. You gave up your crown to save your people. We should do the same." Sam hot. I ain't really seen Sam like angry before, except for when those dudes tried to rape his girl. And even then, he was still like, he's angry now.
So then, anyway, we go to another scene. The Ginger and One Eye Flame Sword, they're coming through this place, and they're seeing bloody spots on the ground in the snow. They're not seeing anybody, so I guess that means White Walkers came through there. And so they hear noises, and then, the guy that comes around the corner is one of Brandon's boys from the Night Watch. And they almost clash. And the dude says, watch it, he's got blue eyes. And Ginger was like, I've always had blue eyes. And then anyway, they mob through the building, and they see the little boy that Sansa sent to get his people up on the wall, like with this like symbol, with like legs all around with this symbol. I guess it's the White Walkers, which I guess they had done the same thing to some horses earlier. But it was like, man, White Walkers got symbols out there. So anyway, while Ginger is talking, you see the little dude come to life in the background. He's screaming, he's a White Walker now. And One Eye had to flame him with the sword, and he lights on fire. And yeah, and it's a wrap. Oh, Jamie. So then he goes back to the place. Jamie's there. He's rugged. He gets off the thing. He's been riding forever. And of course, he sees Brand's creepy ass from across the way. Like, man, I thought you was dead. Yeah. Anyway, it's a long episode. I got some editing to do, but yeah, coming at you real soon. R&B video coming this summer. Holla at you, boy. So Cersei is sitting in front of Euron and Euron. I don't know what the man's name. Crazy Eye Killer and the captain of the Golden Army. And they tell her that they don't have the elephants. And so every the dude was like, yeah, it's a pleasure fighting for you. And he dips off. And Euron said, he was like, yo, Cersei, about that thing we was talking about before. She was like, listen, after the war, I already told you. He was like, wars can last years. And she was like, yo, you are the most arrogant dude I know. What did he say? He was basically asking her, when can you, let me stop. I'm going to say something foul. He was like, what about that thing we talked about? And she said, wars can last years. She was like, if you want a whore, buy one. If you want a queen, earn her. So I'm in this chat, and somebody got this great meme to this. And it involves Kermit the Frog. Look up Cersei and Kermit the Frog when you get a chance. You're gonna laugh hard, and you might cackle. Like you might cackle out loud. That's how funny it is. That was hilarious. Whoever posted that. So then she walks off. He's still looking. Then she turns back around. Oh, she says, you're insolent. She said, I've killed men for less. He said, there were lesser men. She's like, whatever. She walks off. Then she looks. Come on here, boy. And next thing you know, see you last night. Saw you standing there. It was on. So Bronn. Next thing you know, Bronn is in the room with 3 women in the bed. I'm talking about blood ball naked they are, and just with 3 women. At the same, just once before I get married. 3. So basically the hand, the little weird scientist dude, Cersei's guy comes in there and says, listen, Cersei wants you to kill Tyrion and Jaime. And with the crossbow that they killed, that Tyrion killed Pops with. And so now Theon, I don't know why I'm still alive, Greyjoy, they bust in and rescue his sister. She headbutts him immediately, in which me, myself, personally, I would have tied her ass right back up on that boat. You don't headbutt me after I just saved your life. I don't care if I did run when I had a chance to save your life before. Quit bringing up bullshit. So anyway, they're sailing. She's like, so, where you want to go? He was like, you're my queen, wherever you want to go, I want to go. She was like, you want to go fight for Winterfell, don't you? She's like, well, I'm gonna go settle up home, so just in case they got to run from the White Walkers, that's where I'm gonna be. But you go off and fight against them. Yeah, and then so now Khaleesi and Jon, they're talking. She's like, your sister doesn't like me. He was like, man, Sansa just be acting like that, man. She'll warm up to you. Khaleesi said, she ain't got to be my friend, but I am her queen, so she can't respect me. And then the Dothrakis come in and then basically tell her that the dragons ain't eating. And she thinks it's because they don't like the North. They're in a new home, whatever. So they want to, Khaleesi gets on the dragon. She's like, come on. Jon's like, man, riding on damn dragon? What? She was like, what? He was like, well, what if I can't ride the dragon? She said, well, then it's been nice knowing you. You don't enact my pettiness, my male ego. You don't do that to me. So Jon hops right on. It was technically only Targaryens are supposed to be able to ride the dragons. And so anyway, he gets right on. They ride. Khaleesi's looking back like this nigga, okay, I see you. And ride the dragon. They get off and they get ready to kiss. And the dragon's just looking at them like, that was just nasty. He's like, Khaleesi, you ain't nasty because your family do this, but Jon, you just nasty. You don't even know. You still kissing. What happens? So Jon, yeah, they looking at the dragons like y'all nasty. Oh, so Arya walks in on, not Podrick, but Hendry. I'm calling him Little Rod. Hendry is Little Rod. That's what I'm calling him. He's making something for the Hound. Hound says something houndish, whatever. He turns around and he sees Arya. He's like, she's like, oh, he told her, he said, you left me to die. She said, oh, I robbed you first, though. He's like, you're a cold little bitch. That's why you're still alive. Then he walks off. And so now she wants Arya and Hendry alone. She wants him to make her like a little dagger. And they do a little flirt thing. She definitely wants this for him. Because before they left, he was like, yeah, I'm going off to be with family. She was like, I could be your family. I was like, you little fast ass. You ain't slick. And yeah, man. So what we got? So Jon and Sansa are now let's start this new one. Remember they used to move like this back in the 90s?